you're wondering where I got 57 from, I started from St. Patrick's Day. It's pretty darn cool. That's the day in my mind when we stopped doing things. Josh got muted by the Lord. I don't know what to say. Sorry, I will equally offend everybody. All right, let's go.
I don't know who muted me. Sorry about that. So this is a no music.
That's early. This guy turned it down low. Oops. Oh well. Sing along. Do 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 do. It's a big budget event. It's a massive budget event. Can you tell? All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We still haven't got the season week tonight with John Oliver, so we're still using that intro. Maybe we'll switch it to Saturday Night Live. I don't know. We'll figure it'll be good. All right. So this is the week. It happened. It happened. This weekend we started opening up the economy again, and people were allowed to go out and do things. The sun came out, so everybody immediately apparently ran to a beach, and then everybody else who didn't go to the beach and saw pictures of people at the beach started bitching about the amount of people that were at the beach. So we're going to talk about perspective today, just for fun. So anyway, the other thing that came up is now that people are preparing to get back to work, what do we do with the pets? Everybody ran out, a dog, a cat, a bird. Our neighbors, I think every neighbor around us bought a bird, and they love to be by the window. So we're talking if you Google pet therapy, pet home alone training, or hashtag be a pet. Come on, it's but yeah, our dogs are spoiled. I mean, our dogs gain like more weight than I have because we feed her 24 hours a day because it's the only way we get her to shut up. So, yeah, what's going to happen there? So, seek therapy for your dog before you go to work. And Donald Trump. Oh, yeah, we got a lot of background noise there. Josh Bass, what are you doing, buddy?
I'm sorry.
I don't. It sounds like you're chewing peanuts. It's good. So Donald Trump is working on the transition to greatness, even though the United States continues to have the most cases, apparently do the most tests as well, but have the most and the most fatalities due to coronavirus, which led us to have our prime minister go May 21st to reopen the border. We'll see. We're going to gut check that. We'll see how you guys are doing south of the border. And yes, I still have packages in Blaine. Anyway, so and my guy won't ship. He won't ship. Anyway, he won't write just gift on there, so we don't have to pay duty. Maybe that's our issue. Anyway, so yeah, no changes there. So for those of us who are used to living so close to the border, it's kind of a big deal. It's weird for me. Shanghai Disneyland open with masks and space and social distancing. So things are starting to progress. And locally close to home, we are entering into phase 2 of reopening, which is really, really cool. So that means some businesses can reopen with restrictions. So if there's patios, you probably got to remove a space. People can gather in groups of 6 or less. You can pair up with a family. Get to that in a second. Elective surgeries are starting to go ahead, and we can finally get Starbucks like civilized people. We have to line up outside and order ahead, but we can finally get Starbucks like civilized people. Thank God, because there is definitely bourbon in this cup. The people can gather in 6 groups or less. It was actually suggested that you find a family to cohabitate with, that you can socialize with, and that's causing some mental health issues because say you've got 6 friends, but you're only allowed to choose one. You know, it's kind of like Sophie's Choice. It's kind of weird. So again, fortunately, no friends, so don't have to make those choices. Life is full of tough decisions that I don't have to make living in isolation continually. The other thing this means is that we can finally stop using some of the terms that are driving, hopefully, everybody nuts, like the new normal, social distancing. I'm going to add business not as usual, unprecedented, uncertain, trying times. Any combination of these words, by the way, toilet paper shortage, essential, furloughed, and of course, my favorite, speaking moistly. Words that will no longer be in our day-to-day English language. And if it's anybody else, I'm getting kind of tired of tone of voice too. Everything I hear that is like, in these trying times, during these difficult times, anything in that tone, I'm pretty much just toning out right now. I want people to yell at each other again, you know, like real people, real families. Come on, let's go. All right, so let's talk about perspective. Perspective can either be Renaissance and how we look at the vanishing point, and draw our eye and go, ooh, that's amazing. It can be the real reason why I like going to Disney parks, because they use forced perspective to make things look farther away, which, by the way, makes me look huge. Huge. It's fantastic. It's also the perspective of the opening slide of Picture on the Beach. When you look at the picture on the left, my left, your right, I don't know, I think it should be the same. My left, it looks like that beach is packed. It looks like people should go to jail. And then when you look at the aerial view, everybody's behaving. I'm a little disappointed they didn't spell out COVID in their shaping. It was pretty close. It's almost an infinity sign there. But people are behaving themselves, and that's pretty cool. And that's the reason why we can get back to work and get back to doing our business the way we want to do business. Correct? Lead me to you guys. So what can you control? What can't you control? What am I seeking to control that I can't? And what could I control that I'm not? Those are the questions you need to keep asking as you ramp yourself back up to the business. If you're following the media, if you're following all the happy crap out there and listening to the guys who are just saying, I'm just going to wait for this to blow over and then get back to business, you're going to miss out on a massive opportunity. That's just the reality. We're getting harsher now. Remember, I mentioned I wanted to hear people yelling at each other anymore? Includes me. I looked at our numbers from last week. You know, the obviously down 39%. It's time for you, if you're a serious business person, I don't care if it's real estate or not, to move from the couch to cap, or move from the couch to production, move from the couch to revenue. Start doing the things that are driving revenue in your business again, if you haven't already. Go through some stats and we're going to give you some tools and some motivation to move from the couch to cap. So here's where we're sitting. April, moving into the shift. Our listings taken, which is the indicator of future business. So this one we do pay attention to, down 37% from 2019. Yet it was up 8% from 2018. So there's, and when you compare to the Canadian market on the far side of the screen, the Canadian KW Canada was down 44% for listings taken. Contracts written, we were flat. There was less than a 1% difference between 2019 and 2020, and that number's up 52% from 2018. Compared to the Canadian market for KW, down 39%. So go BC. Closed units up, closed volume up, listings sold up, dog beneath my table up, listings sold volume up, closed GC up. So all the indicators moving into the shift were really, 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 really good. And we can either dwell on, wow, do you remember back there when we used to do business? Or we can focus on how you take that momentum and drive it through the shift, right? Here's the reality. You hear us talking about thriving and surviving in the shift. So here's the reality. 1/3 of the real estate agents out there will thrive, 1/3 will survive, and 1/3 will dive, possibly into a different profession. This is not just real estate agents. This is restaurants. This is entrepreneurs. This is business owners. This is everybody. It is just the way it's going to work. So for the thrive, you're going to have the hashtag I rock the Corona. Survive, I need a Corona. And 1/3 dive will be, I now work for Corona. I'm now a bottler in the plant. So either way, Corona has an impact. Cool. And the question you can ask is, how will we show up to be the best version of ourselves? This came up on my call this morning with KW Region. How we show up and be the best version of ourselves for your clients, for your business partners, other agents out there. How are they seeing how you responded in this? And this is the one thing that we can all really, really control. What are we doing every day to move from the couch? And some of us have a very, very deep ass impression in our couches right now. Very deep. It's like almost like the springs have gone away and we have been sucked into the couch. So it's going to take some leverage. So don't set a goal for yourself of doing $4 million in revenue in the first 6 months. You need to work your way out of the couch. Otherwise, you might pull a hammy or something, right? We've got some tools for you as KW agents. We've got Bold Pivot, which is freaking nuts. And there's been some feedback saying, I've taken Bold before and it's kind of the same content. No kidding. I almost swore there. No kidding. It's the same content, but it's rejigged for this market and for getting you ramped up. Here's an impressive stat. 35% of all KW agents in Canada are registered for Bold. That's nuts. That's absolutely awesome. We also have the Shift Pivot Club, which is still going on. There is a ton of information. Just make sure that you're not getting sucked into training for training's sake, making sure that you are paying attention, right? And implementing what you're learning, doing the calls, doing the work. For anybody who's involved in Bold, Mona Aurora is on the office's behalf, is setting up a WhatsApp group so we can set up scripting partners and accountability partners, and making sure that we're doing the things that are going to focus you on building revenue in your business, which is why we're doing it. Command is nuts. If you have not played with Command in the next little while, we put a little contest in there to enter your 100 contacts. Get in there. You can now book a virtual tour for your client through Command. So they can click on your listing and book a virtual tour. That's kind of awesome. Neighborhoods really kicked up. You can do neighborhood snapshots. I watched VJ in the Surrey office yesterday post a video in about 3 seconds in designs. Really, really cool. And then referrals. So I've got how's 80K sound? So Sheila Morrison, who is registered with her office but happens to live in the amazingly flat province of Alberta, did $80,000 in referrals last year. $80,000 in referrals last year. Guess where she did that from? Right here, sitting at her phone, building out the referral network within KW. So if you haven't done that, maybe, and ask yourself, what would 80 grand do right now? I mean, most of you are independently wealthy and just sitting on a lot of cash right now. But if you're not, I mean, I'm physically sitting on a wad of cash. It's how I prop myself up so you can see me in the screen. But if you're not sitting on a wad of $80,000, maybe you want to check out the KW Referral Network. Just a hint for some free money. It even shows you when you log into the referral network. I'm going to go off for a bit. It even shows you where the referrals are coming from for your market. So when you click on Vancouver, Coquitlam, Surrey, wherever, it'll actually show you where the most referrals are coming from. And a lot of times they're not where you think they are and where the referrals are going. So if you're referring people to Tucson or Washington or downtown Vancouver or Toronto, wherever, so you can reach out to people in those areas saying, hey, I noticed you're in a hotspot with referrals. We should do business together. It's a good way to rock. Bottom line is you need to keep calm, sell real estate, respect the industry, respect yourself, and respect your social distancing guidelines so we can all get back to business quickly. Murder hornets are coming. Just when we got out of COVID, murder hornets are coming. They're apparently this big. No, they're not. They're this big. They're this big, which is pretty damn big for a hornet. The nice thing is they only attack honeybees. Honestly, if I got killed by murder hornets, I survived COVID only to die by attacked by a murder hornet. Just tell them I drank myself to death and be done with it. Please give me something honorable. But reality is, the honeybees should be concerned, not you. And in anticipation of the arrival of the murder hornets, honeybees have been preparing for isolation. They've been stocking up on bourbon, Clorox wipes, toilet paper, and hand sanitizer. So they're good. Cool. All right. The biggest deal. We have Red Day. Red Day is tomorrow. Jersey. So we've got a couple of things going on. We have the GoFundMe page for No Hungry Tummies. We have a goal of $6,000. So far, we've raised $665. I don't want to say that's that's a good thing. I'm excited that we have $665. Please donate. Please give. In the time that Ron's been yapping at you, you've seen the ads. Anyway, I'll put pictures of puppies and things up there. I can put the dog back. So the GoFundMe page, go there, donate. Share it with your group. I know there's a boatload of you just waiting till tomorrow because Red Day is May 14th, waiting for tomorrow to do it. Also important, do something. If you're donating, put on a red shirt, take a picture of you donating on doing the GoFundMe page, if that's all you're doing. If you're painting a rock, take a picture of you and your kids painting rocks. If you're writing a letter, if you're giving blood, if you can find a place to give blood, let me know. I tried to bleed. I was just going to drop a jar of blood off to somebody because no one wants to poke me with a needle, apparently. If you're coordinating a caravan, do it. Make sure you take the pictures so that we can socialize this and you can use it on social media. Self-serving purposes, but make sure you're notifying us of what you're doing. I'll give you the instructions on that in a sec. Also, this just happened yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Berg Mountain family fire. They got burned out of their home last night. So there is a GoFundMe page. We'll make sure you get the link. We'll put it on the cafe group. So if you want to give where you live, they already have a GoFundMe page set up. They've raised $11,000 out of $35,000. Weird thing. You wonder where how disconnected you are or how connected you are to stuff that happens in your community. Looked at the name. My son played soccer with this guy. So yeah, they went toe to toe for several years. Steven Sweelander. Yeah. What? We coached those guys for a couple of years. So yeah, whatever you do, just do something. I honestly, Really, really, really don't care what it is. Just do something. Go be nice. Go buy somebody a cup of Starbucks. Don't cut somebody off in traffic. Just be conscious of being socially aware and participating in the community tomorrow and today and the rest of the year. Just be nice. All right, here's the way. So you're going to send your posts and your pics. We got the collage up. Pretty darn cool. Thank you to everybody who participated in that. And Laura was thank you for stemming that or stemming. Coordinating. I don't know. Me no speak good anymore. So make sure you're posting your pics on the cafe Facebook page, your Instagram, and your social media pages, and send a copy to Laura Beatty at kw.com so that we can make sure that we're tagging you and all kinds of stuff. Tag the office, tag your friends, tag your clients, tag your it. Just make sure you're posting it and getting the word out there. All right. So here's your emergency plan homework. Call your clients. 40 touches a day. This is the exact same as last week with one change. Hopefully you called your mom for Mother's Day. Register for Bold Pivot. Do the work. You can still register for Bold Pivot. If you can't call me, I will steal the materials for you. Did not say that on a recorded video. Get into command. Go play with yourself with positive people like Josh. Sign up for Red Day and donate generously. And then move from couch to cap. It's time to get back into business if you haven't already. Go motivated. Go find the opportunity to get back into do business. And to help you with get from couch to command, we're going to launch a bingo game. So some of this is activity. We're going to start this back to the day that all this really started, and that was St. Patty's Day, March 17th, the last day that I was actually officially in the office, except for this week. So these activities are retro back to March 17th. It's just like regular bingo. You get prizes for completing a straight line, a diagonal line, up, down, and a whole card. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge prizes. So things like create a campaign in command, wear pants, give Ron a referral, take a listing, run out of toilet paper. We haven't run out of toilet paper yet. Close a deal, get a haircut. Just some fun stuff, some coming out of quarantine stuff, and mainly things that will help you build your business. So participate, win some stuff. By the way, I haven't authorized this, so buying these prizes myself. Good thing I'm sitting on a big wad of cash. And just in case you forgot, Lysol is still not effing mouthwash. Do not drink that stuff. Got it? Cool. All right. Public service announcement over. And now, Josh and Aaron and Michael and possibly more. Take her away there, big guy.
Hello. Aaron, thanks for joining us. Are you live? Let's test your audio.
I saw him leave, so.
Oh, he's out of the room now?
Aaron.
Yeah.
All right, well, when he comes back in, I'll start it off with Michael, no problem. Just out of curiosity, has everyone had a chance to see the latest property disclosure statement where two new questions, well, actually a bit of a redesign on it. It's got some interesting look to it, but there are two new questions under section 3 added to the end of section 3 that deal specifically with radon. And those two questions read, have the premises been tested for radon? Of course, if yes. And then there's all kinds of questions like the level. So if it's been tested, you're going to need to know, I don't know what a BQ/M3 or P capital CI, you have to read it. And then the next question is W, is there a radon mitigation system on the premises? Now, radon, I've never, in my 28 years, I've only ever heard the word, but I'm not familiar with the actual experience of radon. And if anybody in our listening or in the meeting today has, please reach out on the group chat just to put something out so I can see where your experience is, and I might just speak to you. But Michael, if I may just go to you, what's your experience on radon? Did you see this coming on our PDS? Did you know they were going to be adding a couple of new questions?
No, at this time I didn't know they were going to add radon. They've been talking about radon for years. I'm not that familiar as yourself with that.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not that familiar. Is there anyone in the meeting today that is familiar with radon?
Maybe Aaron board.
Do you want me to chime in here, Josh?
There you go.
There he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
I got cut out. I don't know what happened, and then I came back, and I'm like, I wonder.
Well,
if
you
anyone
are the
noticed.
one we want to talk about.
Yes,
Radon. So
yes,
tell us all about
radon. Radon. Did I turn my camera on? Yes, I did. Okay. Radon. Okay.
You're good, yeah.
All right. So let me. Those of you who don't know, I'll give a little background on radon and stuff too. So radon is essentially a gas that comes from the breakdown of radioactive material inside the Earth. So as a gas, it rises through the Earth and enters into our atmosphere and minute amounts and stuff too. So right now there's radon being emitted from the Earth as we speak, and everyone's kind of walking amongst it in minute amounts. It's not really affecting us. So where it becomes dangerous is when with properties and houses, the gas starts to build up inside a property and such too, to a level where it can start to become dangerous and stuff too. So radon is actually been tracked to be the second leading cause of lung cancer in Canada, right behind smoking. It is significantly behind smoking, but it is the second leading cause. So this is likely the reason that it's probably starting to appear on the PDS statements. I guess a lot of questions have been coming up. Now, I will asterisk a whole lot of that explanation in a second. That being said, radon is more of an issue really in the interior more than the lower mainland. That's why we out here don't really hear much about it. If you go to somewhere like Kelowna or pretty much anywhere in the interior, it starts to become more of a prevalent thing. People become more aware of it and such too as well. But here in the lower mainland, because of the soil we live on, it's more sediment, less rocky and such too, we don't hear much about it. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's nowhere. If you go to some parts of the lower mainland, like North Vancouver, higher up, West Vancouver, I've heard stuff about Burke Mountain, but I haven't really heard anything more hearsay more than anything else. Belcarra, those type of areas are more rocky terrain. There's more incidents of radon there. That being said, now that this, I guess, question is appearing on the PDS, everyone's, I'm assuming, going to get a lot more questions from clients, buyers, sellers about what's actually going on. And I guess the question is, do I need to get a test and such too as well? So I do caution about anyone answering directly on what they should do, what they shouldn't do. They can do a couple things. I would suggest they refer to the Lung Association or Radon Aware. Those are a couple websites and companies that handle these sort of things. Or they can come call me, and I'm happy to tell them, like, look, it's not prevalent in the lower mainland, especially in like Vancouver proper, like Poco. Those are areas that don't have real high incidence of radon. But if they are concerned, they can get a test. So there are two kinds of tests. Here, I'll show you a test kit I have right here. I'll try to hold it up to the camera. Can you see it? Look at it? That's what a test kit looks like. So there's two kinds of tests. There's a short-term test and a long-term test. Now, the long-term test, just to give an idea, and this is where it's going to be kind of hard to do these things, a long-term test takes 90 days or more to get a proper test. Obviously not practical in a buyer-seller transaction type of thing, but it is considered the most accurate test to do. So if you have someone who wants an accurate test on the Becquerel levels and stuff too, the long-term test is the best. However, there are short-term tests available, which is what this one is here. And a short-term test take from about 1 week or 10 working days to up to 90 days. Now, the short-term tests are not considered as accurate, but at least it's something, right? So if there's someone you guys have that wants to get a test, you do need to plan that into your offer, or if it's a seller, inform them. It takes at least 10 days. That's not including any lab time analysis, and that's not including any delivery for the results to the lab. So, 2 weeks is probably a safer bet to actually get results back like that too as well. Can I throw pictures up or something or anything? Is there a way to do that? I've never used
You want
Google.
to share your screen, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. How do we do that? Present now.
Get a present. Yep. There.
Oh, okay, cool. Share a window. All right, we'll try that.
Do not adjust your screen.
Here we go. So, did everyone see that? Is that clear? Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like a
Yeah, so this is the map of kind of where high levels of radon are in BC and stuff too. So you can see, obviously, the redder it is, the more high levels it is. And if you look in the very corner here, they have a little lower mainland insert. You can really see most of the lower mainland is like zone 3, so guarded, which basically means low, like very, very little and such too. But if you start looking kind of around like North Vancouver and such too, you can see where the high levels start to get such too as well. So hopefully that gives a little bit of background on how that actually is. Did it work now? And I'll show you guys another picture really quickly if I can get it open here. So the other thing is the question was, what's a radon mitigation method? So to give you an idea, let's see if this will work. So I'm learning as I go here. So there we go. Everyone see that? So that is a radon venting tube. So this is what they do for radon mitigation. They essentially install these tubes, which is basically an inline fan with a big tube that goes into the foundation slab. And so essentially what the idea of mitigating radon is you're essentially just venting out to the exterior so it doesn't build up in the home. Because the key for radon is it builds up, and that's where it becomes dangerous. If it doesn't build up, it doesn't really do anything, or we're pretty much, it doesn't affect us and such too. They cost about, this one costs $5,000 to install. And they can range depending what they have to do and where they have to go and such too as well, and how far they have to go up and such, right? So I'll take that out. There we go. So, and someone the other day was talking to me, I was doing one of these for another brokerage, and someone said, look, they that doesn't look $5,000 to install. I bet I could do that myself. And I told them, you can Google how to do radon venting tubes yourselves. It doesn't sound hard, but if you want a professional to do it, that one costs $5,000, right? So he was pretty adamant he could do a radon venting tube himself. So,
quick question for you, Aaron. Quick question. The other little test you held up, do you have any idea how much those cost?
Yes. Yes, I have exact idea. So there's a couple ways. I've got a bunch of these. They do have expire dates. Actually, I have a couple, right? So because obviously it's not very popular to do. I can do the test. Obviously, it requires some movement and drop off. I'll charge about $125 for the test. It is more than you can order a test yourself too. It costs about $60 for a test, but it takes a few days, right? So, or if you want to do the test yourself, you can just buy it off me and I just charge you whatever and stuff too as well. The point is that if you need the test right away, I'm happy to come do it. But if you can wait and order the test yourself, it's going to be cheaper. This one costs $60 from the Lung Association stuff too. This is a short-term one.
Is there an expiry date on the results of the test?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know, actually. I don't think so. And I don't think, yeah, I don't think so. In theory, I guess, if you don't have a mitigation equipment, you do the test, and then that test results display itself and there's nothing there, that's fine. But that doesn't say anything about the future. Though I would assume that depending on the train you're in and stuff too, it would be the same regardless of what you do. The problem is the short-term tests are not considered accurate, right? I know the PDS doesn't disclose which test you get, and it doesn't say anything along those lines, but it's well known in the industry. Short-term tests it's an okay test, but it's not an accurate test. So it's a lot of these results are like, understand you had a short-term test that doesn't tell you exactly that these are going to be always the levels. A long-term test is always the most preferable one.
One other question, just if I can. Leslie's asking, how can we get a copy of that map? Is there a link to that we can?
Yes, there is. It is off. Where did I get this map copy? Hang on, I'll tell you. It is off the. This is actually off of SFU website, the SFU Citizen Scientist Project for Radon Gas, right? So sfu.ca/radon/radonmap.html. Here, I will copy it and I will send it to someone.
Chat here on this meeting, if you could.
I will. As soon as I figure out how to do that.
Can I just come back to the PDS for the sake of the agents listening?
Yes.
I want to make sure that when we're reviewing them with our sellers that we're answering them correctly. Have the premises been tested for radon? So if it's, say, a no, then the answer is a no. That's pretty straightforward. If it's a yes, then of course we're going to answer when was the most recent test completed. So we've got an option for a date and what was the recent level of radon detected. Those either 90-day tests or 10-day tests, 9-day tests. Mm-hmm. Do they give you the levels? Do they give you the BQ/F3?
Yeah, they're supposed to give you the Becquerel levels and such too as well. They don't just give, they don't just say positive or negative. The tests are designed to give you the Becquerel levels and stuff too, because Canada says it's over 200 is considered elevated and such too.
Okay. Then the other question, thank you for that. So that's how we can answer. It's straightforward, either yes or no. And then if the radon mitigation, or is there a radon mitigation system on the premises? That's that $5,000 tube you showed, correct?
Yeah, that's what a radon mitigation system looks like and stuff too, if you're curious.
So straight up answers, yes or no to that one. Okay, got it. So these are really easy questions to answer. Most people in the Lower Mainland likely won't have, or the sellers likely won't have had a test, because we're not typically, at least in the Lower Mainland, Tri-Cities, Maple Ridge, Surrey, Fraser Valley, we're likely unaffected.
Exactly, right? But North Vancouver, Belcarra, those are areas that are probably they're probably more aware. And generally, I find the people that live in those areas, they're a little bit more aware of these things because they've had to deal with it and such too as well, right? So, but it is something to note. But just in case anyone does get questions from buyers, and some buyers, some buyers they're despite you saying there's not really a problem, they still may want to get a test anyway. Hey, by all means, we can get a test done just as long as everyone plans. It's about 10 days at least for a short-term test.
Okay.
I don't know. I think he.
So not to be scared of. Have you ever heard of any? Just on a wide out, way out the question. Have you ever heard of any deaths around radon?
Personally,
if I can just interrupt for a moment, someone's got some talking in the background. Can everyone check to make
that
sure?
Would be. That might be me because my wife's on another conference call behind me. So like I said, we're all in one room working from home. So don't just pretend it's not happening, right? So,
Okay,
That's awesome.
it's you underestimate how sensitive the microphone actually is sometimes with these things, right? So
indeed.
Oh, now she's laughing. So, okay. Anyways,
Yeah. Any deaths?
not that I know of. Well, no, I don't know personally. In Lorme, I don't know. I've never actually looked up that stat, honestly, right? So I don't know. Yeah. So
yeah. I guess because it's new to me, it's like, whoa, should I be afraid of radon? I've never even thought of radon. I just want to make sure that when we're talking to clients that we have a general grasp. Perhaps maybe. Sorry, she's getting louder.
She's competing.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if I can move the computer. Yeah, I know she's trying to talk over me or something like that too as well, right? So maybe she's in her now. Anyways, okay.
All right. Well,
if she's saying something good, maybe we should listen to her instead. No,
I don't know who she's talking to right now. So,
Aaron, would you call radon the invisible enemy? No, wait, we can't do that anymore.
We can, yeah. I think people are going to people obviously with it being on the PDS, people are gonna start asking questions, right? And then I do, you can always pull up the SFU, the little chart, and say, hey, here's our map of radon. You're here, right? It's low level and stuff too. But obviously there are going to be some people that want to get tests. We can do it, sure, right? And if it puts their mind at ease, go for it, right? Or direct them to the radon websites like lung association stuff too as well, and they can probably answer a little bit more authority than I can and stuff.
Sure. Okay. Well, I think that's good. That pretty much handles it. It's answered some questions I had when I saw this 2 days ago.
Yeah. It sounds scarier than it really is, honestly, right? So
sounds good. Okay. Well, I'll do some research on that. Michael, do you have any thoughts or questions? We lose Michael? Oh, Michael's on mute.
And just for anybody who's freaking out, comic relief. So radon should not be confused with the winged monster from the Godzilla movies. That's Rodan. That's different.
Yeah, there's no test for that.
Yeah, no test for Rodan.
There it is. Well, I want to.
He moves under the ground anyway.
I don't have any other questions really, unless Mr. Tremaine, if you have a question or two that you would want to ask. But beyond that, thank you. You've allayed my concerns.
No, what?
Yeah, no, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, from what I'm reading, even on the internet right now, they're saying that lung cancer from it could be 5 to 25 years before it comes to life, right? So it's a long-term exposure, from what I'm reading. Correct?
Yes, correct. Right. It is long. So you can almost have a race between that and asbestos if you really want to and stuff too. But yes, you're right. It is a long term. It's not, and radon is not a fast thing. It's like, oh, I breathed it in. That's it. I'm in trouble. No, it is a long term exposure, and it requires buildup. It really does require buildup inside the property. That's how it actually happens. That's why the test takes so long, because it's measuring that buildup. You can't just take a sensor and go, oh, radon. It doesn't work that way.
Well, it's not like carbon monoxide, for example, which is fairly deadly.
Exactly.
Quickly.
Yeah, exactly. That's very different stuff. Perfect.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mr. Borsch. I appreciate that very much.
You're welcome, guys. All right, so I am gonna go. If anyone has questions, just email me or let Josh know. They can, or Ron know, or someone know, and they'll find me and stuff too. So okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Anyway, so
Thanks.
Cool. It's like we got asbestos, we got radon, we got corona, we got big monsters, we got killer hornets coming. It's like It's like I'm just gonna get the end is nigh sign and start running around the city. It's gonna be great. It's good. It's good.
So let's talk Red Day, Ron. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Yes, please.
Wonderful, thank you. So we've got a couple of options for donations. No Hungry Tummies, and of course the family on Burke Mountain.
Correct.
Correct.
So yeah, the important thing is the theory behind Red Day is to renew, energize, and donate. How you choose to do it, and normally we would all be out there together, sweating and lifting stuff and things, and doing. It's very visible and very hands-on, where you get to share and and laugh and cuss and all kinds of stuff. So this is a little different, obviously, because of the restrictions we're under. So it really is. I think it's almost more important that you participate now, because we've been in self-isolation so much. We're isolated, but we're isolating, but not isolated is the way to put it. I'm going to put that under the heading of things I never want to hear again. So yeah, it's just do something. Take a picture of it and do something. And the main reason is because it's the right thing to do in our communities. The other reason is it's going to make you feel pretty darn good. So when you donate some cash, if you're able to do that, great. To either or both, or a charity that you'll like. Gail Beck has a charity that she supports, so she's making a donation to them tomorrow on KW behalf, kind of thing. So it's just important that you do something. Just participate. I'm going to try and do as many things on that list. My family doesn't know yet, but like we're going to go for a hike today, and we're going to go find rocks, and I'm going to paint those, and I'm going to paint them in their colors so they disappear. What I did bring up in one of the meetings you should not do is don't paint competitive logos on rocks and then throw them through people's windows. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. The rocks are to place in parks with messages of joy and love.
Is there a link that we could put on our KW Cafe for the Burke Mountain family?
Yeah, the Burke Mountain. I put the so when I'm going to post the recording of the meeting, I put the link in the meeting slides. But if you basically just go to Facebook and put a search in for Burke Mountain or Sweelander, I believe is the name that it's under. It's Help Our Family, Our House Burned Down, or I think it's Our House Burned Down GoFundMe page. So no family members were injured in the fire, but they lost everything, including work vehicles. So.
That's really, really, really a shame. And from what I'm hearing too, they were very well connected in our community. There's a lot of people that knew who they were, yourself included.
Yeah, it's just like his Steven's granddad coached alongside of me for years. I'm assuming it's the same house. So and then Steven and Joel played together. So yeah, he's been in the Poco community for a long time. Hey,
so the list that you referred to, is there a link in our files on our KW Cafe for that list?
So there is it was emailed out. We'll send it out again this afternoon, but everybody was invited to share and say what they're doing. It's a sign up page. That's really secondary. That was just designed to get people to participate.
Sure.
Just do something, and take a picture of it. Let us know what you're doing. There's that sense of community. We've got 320 agents in the office. Let's see how many people we can get to participate. Let's go have some fun. If
someone does a cash donation to either or No Hungry Tummies or the Burke Mountain, do you want a screenshot of that, or how would you like that relayed into?
It's up to you. A lot of people, donations are very personal things, right? So when people donate, a lot of times they don't want their name flashed on the screen, right? I'm always that anonymous guy, personally. So yeah, that's up to you. Picture of you in front of your computer with a GoFundMe page and block off what you're doing, and just with your Red Day shirt, if you want to promote, that's cool. In that case, if you're putting your name in, it's going to come up that you donated anyway.
Sure.
And then just post. I would make a post on your personal page just saying, hey, for the Red Day logo, and donated to No Hungry Tummies, or donated to a family in need. Don't get personal, right? That kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of charity. We all are. It's kind of our culture, and I'm a bigger fan when you get to share the love, not because it's self-promoting. It's a good side effect, because when people see you doing it and you step up as a leader in the community, other people also do the same, right? So do likewise.
Carla's going to post the link. the Burke family. Carla's going to post the link for the Burke family in our KW Cafe, just to make it nice and easy for everyone.
That's because Carla's awesome.
She really is. Yeah. You know, that's great. One of the things I really like about, I mean, I love our Red Days. I've always loved how we get together as agents and there's a communion and a connection. It's really special. And this one's so different and yet equally as special because we get to do things like you said. That list is a bit of a scavenger hunt for us to do things that are really heartfelt, meaningful, but we're doing them with our loved ones close by. And you want to talk about the essence of Red Day. It really is about being with loved ones. And this is a great way to involve them. And who knows, maybe years to come, because they've had the experience of being a part of this with us this year, they might join in and we might just see this group grow bigger with family coming in.
You bet. It's a great opportunity to share now with not just with the community, but especially now to involve your family. I mean, involve local businesses. You know, a local florist who's struggling. I mean, I'm always a fan of negotiating a bulk deal, but go negotiate for the flowers that are gonna, get thrown out tomorrow and randomly deliver them in your neighborhood. That'd be kind of cool, right? There's all kinds of things you can do. I mean, even if you're just going out and supporting a local restaurant, buy a meal for you. Here's one that's nice and easy. A lot of the online ordering sites, if you're going directly to the website, they'll have a tip a server. Don't order the meal, just click on tip the server.
Even better.
How's that? Yeah, cool.
Trish Callie's going to be picking garbage off the beaches on Keats Island where she lives. She's going to get her kids to help, which is just beautiful.
There is no garbage on Keats beaches. They're pristine.
Tell that to Trish.
All the pictures I see, they're all pristine.
Yeah.
I like it. And this isn't all day. So normally with Red Day, we would be out there for the entire day, right? We'd be from dawn to dusk kind of thing, and sometimes beyond. This year, it's a couple hours of your time, right? So it's not like you've got to dedicate an entire day in your schedule. So on that note, don't use Red Day as an excuse to not do your contacts. You've got time to do both. It's a win-win. Use your contacts to say, hey, here's what I'm doing for Red Day. What's Red Day? Let me tell you. Kind of cool, right?
I love it.
It's a good reason to call your clients.
Mona's going to plant 5 trees and pick up some trash. Like you can get so creative about this year's Red Day that it's just really cool. I love that.
Yeah. And Josh Knapp asked about gardening, so you probably just get the trees from their yard. They're probably just sitting there.
Probably.
That's probably frowned upon. Cool. All right. Yeah, just do something. Do anything. This is a community participation thing. So let's see what the most popular activities are. And like I say, there is a really strong chance that we'll do a more guided, focused activity where we all get together and then go for a very tired beer at the end when we're all allowed to go play together again in groups of more than 6 or with your specially selected family friend. Just one. Cool.
Yeah.
What else is going on out there?
I want to put a shout out to Rod, if I could, Rod Codziel. He brought this Burke Mountain attention to the Insiders WhatsApp group chat for the Surrey agents, and it was the first I had heard of it. I didn't realize just how recent it was and how deep the impact was in our community. But Rod, thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. And you know darn well, KW Elite is going to do its absolute best to support them and help them get back on their feet through this time. But thanks again, Rod.
Ooh, sorry. On that note, they're also looking for a rental property because they have no place to live right now. So if anybody has a rental, the one to reach out. The Crystal Apple is in the cafe group that they're looking for a local rental. They were in Poco or Coquitlam because that's where they live and do business.
Good point.
Said where their kids go to school. Their kids are going to school, anywhere. Yeah.
Right on. Cool. Well, Ron, on that note.
Nice. Is that it? We done? Wow. I was the interview? I didn't even know.
Yeah, I switched it on you.
Next time we should try and get Ryan Reynolds. I hear he's good.
Okay. Just
all right.
if I can for next week's meeting, next week's interviewee is going to be our very own Michael Tremaine. I'm going to interview him. There are, for agents that may not be fully aware of what's happening in the world of real estate and the organization levels of real estate with council, the superintendent, and our government, there are some very big changes taking place to our structure for 2021. And the groundwork's being laid right now. I'm on a committee is sitting and meeting with local MLAs. And there's a lot of information coming up, and I'm going to interview Michael Tremaine, and he's going to share a lot of what's going on in industry. So you guys have, call it cutting edge, but you're ahead of the curve. You know what's going to be coming down the pipe and how it's going to impact your businesses.
Awesome. Always good to have that insight. Appreciate that. Yeah, I looked through some of the documents you sent. I'm like, that's awesome. Don't be scared, everybody. It's not scarier than murder hornets. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. And if anybody's really bored and has reached the end of the internet and Netflix, there's a new Scooby-Doo digital movie coming out this week. They've run out of ideas apparently too, so that's awesome. Cool. All righty. On that note, are we out of here? Cool. Any questions? Going once? Going twice? Throwing the coaster? All right. Have a great day, everybody. Look forward to seeing your pics and videos for tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.